I have another stupid video. I was bored and I was like, I don't think I've posted any Warframe builds yet on this channel. Mostly just kind of like specific stuff. This is just Equinox thing quickly. I like Equinox, but Equinox does have issues like not having a good shield gate ability. Besides her 4 Ignite form, if you're not using that, you have to subsume something or use Vigor Deflection and all that other bullshit in order to shield gate, right? My voice sounds ass still. I don't know why, but for this first build, well, first let me go over my shards. I have a Talforge cast, normal cast, and 2 energy over effectiveness. In order to make Equinox, I feel like if you want to play her in the most optimal way, you need Energize. You can't do this without Energize. This build specifically, this strength build, you cannot do this without Energize because you're running Blind Rage and all this other bullshit. You will have no energy. I still have some energy issues still with Energize. So what I actually use to fix that, I use Death Cube with Energy Generator. I'm not sure if these clones count as damaging enemies for Energy Generator, but all I know is lots of energy orbs spawn when you have it. So that's really it. Just an orb generator. This too, and then this every once in a while. This helps with life support. It's nice. And for the sweeper, I run gas on this just to whatever like I don't hit. Say some enemies, the gas dot will hit them, and it will just spread. So it's not big. It won't happen like too much, but every once in a while the gas dots do hit an enemy or two that the sweeper did miss. The AI is not good on these things, so having just this does help because the AI on Sentinels is jank when it comes to shooting enemies. So this helps a lot with your energy efficiency. For this build, it is a 400 and I think 20% power strength, something like that. It's enough to get full strip pillage for shields and armor, right? Without having to use corrosive projection or shield disruption. You can give your teammates, I think it's like what 105% power strength. This gives 80, and then 25, so 105. Uh, oh man, I'm like dumb tired. Um, yeah, I'm sorry. I might have to re-record this because I'm yawning like a bitch. But 175 range. I run these two. You want definitely a nice amount of range because the reason why I run negative duration. If you don't know how pillage works is pillage is very fucking annoying to use. Pillage is very jank to use if you don't use negative duration because when you cast pillage, you'll have to double cast to get your shields back quicker if you have a long duration. Even anything 1 second is probably like the highest I would go on pillage for me personally. Right? I don't like the high duration pillage, and I don't like that. So I use this. I use what rank fleeting? This whatever the rank fleeting this is like rank 2. Everything else on the build is max. So besides you want to max that out. I'm lazy. But yeah, my bad. I was yawning again. I just didn't want to do it loudly. Augmented, energized. This build is very energy inefficient if you use the 4 to nuke. When you don't use this 4 for nuking, you can get by. The reason I like using the 4 for nuking with this build also because you could use it on the Corpus as well because you could strip their shields and then use this to still kill them. The pacify provoke the 80% strength is really useful, and if you want to use the 4 to nuke, if you don't, I guess not. You don't have to. If you're having energy issues, yeah, you can see the drain is very very high because of that negative duration. So if you don't have energy shards and energized, I would not recommend using this build. This build is very expensive. This next build is a split form build because I wanted to just try to make one build. I was messing with a lot of stuff. I tried to make it work. This is probably the best I can get to something as good as I could think of. So obviously I took off the two. The two is the only ability I would take off because I think her 204 or sorry 304 are just much better. If you don't know how Equinox, fuck, why am I yawning so much? If you don't know how Equinox's form works when you swap. If you're not using her for augment energy transfer, her 4 will get turned off, right? Which is very annoying. And you would say for a split form build, that sounds dumb, not having energy transfer. But this build is not a nuking build. We're not going to be going from, night form over to day form to nuke enemies. That's not how I made this build. I want to make it more of a support kind of thing. So that's why I'm using dispensary, and I use energy conversion for the 50% strength, and I use dispensary to make sure I could always proc it without having to worry about running out of, whatever. I want to make sure I had that, right? You will not run a... This build is a lot different from this build. This build is much safer. You will never run out of energy with this build with dispensary, prime flow, energize. This build is fine with energy. You can swap the day form to give the 80% power strength to let your teammates, if they have a channel, it's in order to get that extra power strength to increase the channel, or the like a wisp reservoir, a 7th goth gloom, stuff like that. Anything like that. That's what that would be very useful for. And then you can swap back to night mode for the shields for your whole team. So that's really what it is mainly for. That's how I made it. And yeah. Alright. I wish I could have fit like catalyzing shields like somewhere on here, but maybe you can, take this off and then throw on catalyzing shields, and then if you can get the power strength up high enough, I'm not sure if this is high enough for that. For the 74 shields back. But let's go over to this one. You need what? 199 plus 90 is 289. What are we at on this? Plus 60, we're at 20. Yeah. What? Wait. Oh wait, that actually might be very close. Hold on a second. Let me do some math to make sure I'm not like retarded. Okay. 305. That. You know what? A quick change to this. Quick change actually while I'm here. If you want, consistent shield gating, you do. Yeah, use this. I didn't realize. I'm retarded. I didn't realize when you're fully maxed out with your augmented and all that bullshit, you will be able to shield gate with 1 kill with catalyzing shields. So yes, you would want to run this over that. You don't. Equinox does not need. Okay, duration is very nice on Equinox, right? But it's not mandatory. Okay, in my opinion, I don't think it's mandatory. You can get away without having duration on Equinox, right? Because the main thing is you're just gonna have worse drains on your energy. So if you can make up for that worse drain, then I feel like it's completely fine. You can just get away with it. I don't think there's a problem with running bad duration. This build, this is your average normal, just nuke build. This is probably the build you probably see the most on Equinox. Just the Terrify, you cast, use this, kill all the enemies, blah blah blah. I wanted to make a better version of this because that build only really works on the Grenier. So that's why I made this build, to try and make it better. This will also work on Corpus, which is why I like this Pillage build over this Terrify build. And this Pillage build, you don't have to worry about shield gating because you get all your shield gating from Pillage, right? So just little things like that. That's why I like this build over this build. But this build is still good. It's probably the easiest to make out of all of them. It's probably going to be this one. So this is a good build. I recommend it. This is just a Roar build really quickly. Roar, just get up high power strength and just throw Roar for the dot. It's pretty much what I did. Stay form, whatever. And last build I want to show is Night Form. Night Form I think is easier if you don't have Arcane Energized. Night Form is definitely a lot easier to build because you're going to be running that max discipline or just combat discipline on your Equinox. It just makes it easier to get your 3 up. I'd recommend it. It makes using this ability so much easier. So I think you should use it. That's 3 yawns. I promise I want to make this video, and I'm not being a dickhead. I want to make this video. I'm just really tired for some reason. I think I'm gonna go play some horror games after this. But this build is a silence build. If you don't know how her 3 works, her 3 is a bitch to stack up. It takes absolutely forever. But if you encounter somebody named Violence, Violence is a douchebag and will turn off your 3. And when he turns off your 3, you're gonna lose that fucking 80% slow that you spent so long stacking up. So I think you should probably run something like, if you want to use this as like, if you want to be really consistent with this, with the slow, with everything, keep everything up, have your survivability, because you are relying completely on your abilities for your survivability, right? We're not shield gate, like, this is what we're relying on completely. Silence will allow you to be a lot safer. One from the Exodus, very nice to have. And also, Violence won't be able to silence you, which you're just going to silence him instead. And you get to keep these on at all times. This build, fighting Acolytes with this build is like a joke. Like, it is very, 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 very easy. Like, you just completely just destroy them. It's really nice. So this build is definitely good. I enjoy it. These are just some quick Equinox builds that I use. The main one I do use is this pillage build, because I like it a lot. I just wish better energy, but I hate having more duration on pillage. It's just something I just can't stand. So I'll take the benefit of having that low duration pillage over that big drain. If you want to, yes, I know you can do this. Oh, wrong one. You can do this. Throw this on here. But look at the difference. 0.5 energy is not I get it. 0.5 energy does add up, right? But that's the only difference, right? It's not for anyone thinking, why are you using this instead? You might as well just slot that to the lower pillage, right? Is what I was thinking. And you don't want to do you don't want to do this, right? Take this and then not throw this. So now you have a 0.25 pillage. We'll show. I'll go to the simulacrum really quickly. I'll show this. But it's like an instant fucking pillage. It can be actually a little nice. I can't even lie. Another thing with this 0.25 pillage, that if you don't know, shields, no matter how many shields you have, you always get 0.33 shields. Iframes when you get shot and you have no shields. So this pillage will come back before that. Just fucking prick. Just railing him. But you can see, really, make it a brighter. Okay, let me use my other preset. This one's kind of dark. This one's a lot brighter. We'll be able to see the pillage a lot easier. But you can see how far that pillage goes. It hits, wow, it doesn't even hit him. He's what, 17 meters? Now go a little bit more. Did I hit him? No. Oh my god. Alright. How? That's like basically a 14-meter pillage. That's all you get is like that 14 meters. Because pillage goes out with more duration you have, right? So this duration just feels too low. Yes, I know it sounds a little retarded. Also, this doesn't change. This actually gets better, your efficiency on mend and maim and your energy per ability, but I just think running this is just better, because it's a middle ground between streamline and the max fleeting. Where the max fleeting gives you the way too low of a duration, this gives you too high of a duration. Why do I have two? Whatever. So I think this is like the perfect like middle ground to go for. Is this one? I don't know. Why am I focusing on one build? Okay, whatever. I went over Death Cube, Focus School, and it doesn't. No, that sure really matters. Weapons, nah. If it kills the enemy, that's really all you need, because if you're DPSing, you want to use the fucking whatever weapon can kill an enemy to get the your damage stored up, and then you use pillage or terrify and you strip them. But kill them, it's whatever. Do not try and play Equinox without cast speed. If you want to use her fort at all, you need cast speed. Equinox without cast speed is not fun. These are very, very, very nice. And yeah, I think that is the build and the rest of the video. So thanks for watching, or something like that. Bye. Mwah.